Okay, so today I want to share with you, I've shown you this before, but my brows. I get a lot of questions about my brows when they're complete. And, brows are one of those things that it's really essential for me to do because as you can see, I'm missing a lot of them. I overplucked them in college. Um, but even if you have a full face that has beautiful brows, still shaping them, getting them cleaned up, filling them in where they need to be filled, and you can do so much that will help lift and give your face the illusion of being framed as well as lifted. So for me, this is how I do my complicated missing brows. I use the Mary Kay Brow Definer Pencil in dark brunette, and I do have some very sparse hairs growing here. I'm really trying hard to get the hairs to grow. I might try a growing serum. So I'm just doing a line on each side of my eye or brow area to where I want the brow to start. This is really where they should start. If you can see, I'm measuring it from the base of my nose, and that's why I know it should start there, okay? The next thing I'm gonna do is start filling them in. I'm just gonna do hair-like strokes. I do start in this bare area because it helps me visually get a feel for what it's supposed to look like. So you can already see I just did small little hair-like strokes. So the style right now is much more of a pointed brow, more of a, I guess you can call that more of a rectangle bottom shape, I guess you could call it, or a tip. So I'm just doing hair-like strokes all the way through my brow hair. And the way you should know your brows should end, where they should end, if you hold the brow pencil, the base of your nose at an angle like this is where your hair should end. Most people struggle with this end hair. A lot of times it's really blonde or it's missing. So it's very probable that your brows might need help here, or my brows need help here. So once I have the brow pretty much filled in, I just go back over it with hair-like strokes and making sure it's all dark enough and thick enough in the spots I want it to be thick. And then I start my other brow. So the other brow, I do the same thing. Usually one side is easier than the other. The other thing to know about your brows, even if you don't have a situation like mine, is that your brows are sisters. They are not twins, so they are not going to be identical. So don't be stressed out about them being identical and perfect, because that's not going to happen. Okay, so I filled in this brow. You can see this one looks thinner because I haven't gone back over it to fill in the brow hair. So I'm just going to keep going through it and making sure it has enough fullness with the pencil before I do my next step, and darkness. We have multiple brow pencil shades. I love these pencils because they're retractable and the tip is really thin. So you can get a really nice, accurate definition brow pencil. It is waterproof, so I like that the pencil itself doesn't move around on me. And now what I do is I need to kind of darken them a little bit, and this one looks a little thicker, so I'm going to thicken this one up a little bit. Okay, so my brows are on with pencil only. Now what I do is I spray them with the Mary Kay finishing spray. This sets it. It makes it even more waterproof and smudge resistant. So I let that dry all over my brows. And now I do my last step, which is fill them in with a powder. Okay, so there's my brows, they're done. Now I'm gonna put on my makeup, but before I do that, I do spray them again with the finishing spray, just because I don't want any movement with the eyeshadow, and I don't wanna bump them by accident either. And the last and final step is after I apply the rest of my makeup and my eyeshadow's done, I go ahead and do another coating of finishing spray on my whole face. You can't have too much finishing spray, just keeps everything in place and perfect all day long, and the layering makes it even better.